Let's play Whitestone Golf Club in Benbrook, Texas.
Nice driving range.
We've got a putting green area here.
Another putting area here. Pretty nice, lots of movement. Big downhill slope there to work on.
Here we are, Whitestone Golf Club, hole 1, par 5. Our blue tee box, here we are, 500 yards out. Here's the view, beautiful sun view, this hole 1 tee box. Trees right and left, lots of fairway to play with. Got a wide open look at that fairway.
All right, here's a look, about 280 yards in. Second approach shot. Got a good look at the bunkers. Green kind of wraps around to the right side of this, but here's your look and your second shot coming in.
All right, we're looking at about 90 yards out from here. If you made it across the little water, the little creek over here on this front side that separates the fairway from this green side of the fairway. Big bunker here on the left. Pretty far off of that green, but you got a green side top left bunker over there and a front right side bunker.
All right, here's the green on the 1. It's got a high point on this back left side where the flag is today, and it kicks down to the right there, and it also funnels back down toward the fairway this way. Big bunker on the left side on the back, big bunker here on the right side, huge bunker protecting this green on this front right side, massive. No other undulations or bumps, just straight movement.
All right, here we are, blue tee box, hole number 2, 350-yard par 4. There's your line of your fairway. Bunkers on the right and the left side. Trees on the far left if you hook it. You can see your green straight ahead this way. Lots of fairway to work with. There's your line. Here's our look at the approach on 2, about 120 yards out. This green's surrounded by bunkers. Only place to really miss is up front short. You can probably go long back left, and that's about it. Lots of bunkers all over this, protecting this green. All right, here we are at the green on 2, 33-yard front to back. Lots of undulation and movement. You can see there's a high point right in the middle, spine running right to the center. Across, kicks the ball back down the green backside, and then at the middle, at the center area, it comes back down and funnels it back down to the fairway. Again, giant left side.
Kind of a small bunker on the back right, and several small bunkers here to the right side. Far right side bunker on that way, but here's a good look at the green through here.
All right, hole 3 is a par 3, playing 135 from the blues. And here we are from the blue tee box on 3. About 135 yards, like I said, to this green, protected by 2 front left bunkers. Lots of hills and undulations all around this green. If you miss anywhere, you're good. Just stay out of those bunkers that got high lips. Just a lot of work getting back on that green and getting into the hole. All right, here's the green on 3, 36-yarder front to back. This green mostly moves left to right, down toward those hills. Lots of movement in the middle, slightly a high point there on the middle left side, but overall, left to right movement, funneling back down this direction. Par 4, hole 4, 395 from the blues. All right, here's our look at hole 4. It's about a 395, 400 yard. Here's your look on the fairway. Lots of trees on the left side, and you've got trees up front, kind of protecting that green straight through here. You can take driver over those trees and draw it back in on the fairway, or you can play safe. Maybe a little shorter iron here, or even just a cut driver around that tree. But there's your look. Lots of danger with trees left and right.
All right, here's a look at the approach on 4, about 140 yards out from this point. Kind of a look at your green area and where you're going to go into from the middle of the fairway. Lots of trees on the left side, kind of funnels down into the left. Got a somewhat elevated green and a big bunker complex there on the front right side, and that's your only trouble. Lots of room to miss around this hole. Long right, long, a little bit left, and definitely short. All right, here's the green on 4. Pretty long green, 24-yard front to back. A little bit of movement here on this left. You got a little left hill right in the middle. Other than that, it's a back to front movement overall. A couple of different movements throughout the green, but overall it's a back to front coming downhill back down toward the fairway. Again, just this one bunker here on the right side, pretty big. That's the front right side of this green. But overall, like I said, back to front movement. Not too much other movement besides that little spine in the middle right there.
All right, here we are, hole 5. It's a par 3, 186 over water.
All right, here we are at the blue tee box on 5. Par 3 over water. There is your green. Of course, lots of water to worry about. Long left bunker and far right bunkers to deal with. Other than that, it's a pretty straight shot at that green. Looks pretty flat. I do see some movement on there, but you're about 165 from the tee box where we are today.
All right, here we have the drop area for people like me. Short look in, about 70 yards out.
All right, here we are on the green on this par 3, about 18-yard front to back. Lots of movement from back to front. You can kind of see the hill right beyond this flag right here, comes down, cascades down this way. Of course, everything wants to come down to the water. Lots of movement here coming back to front on this green. Again, you got a back left corner bunker, back right corner bunker. This green's really protected. And of course, lots of water. All right, here we are, hole 6. It's a par 4. Plays about 448 from the blues.
All right, here we are at the blue tees here on 6.
448 yards straight out to the flag. Lots of fairway to work with. You do have a bunker here on the right side, about 220 out. Too far right, you got residential OB. Few trees on the left, but not too much to get worried about. That's way down the fairway. You got lots of room to make mistakes here, but obviously your goal, straight down the middle, right to the flag.
All right, here we are in the approach shot looking in from the fairway, about 175 yards out to the green. We do have a little ravine here on the left side. You can kind of see right where those cart signs are, right to the left of that little ravine. It circles around the green, so long miss left on the left side is trouble. You got a green side bunker here on your right side. Otherwise, you can miss long, you can miss short, and you can miss right around that bunker, you're good. Left is a little bit of trouble here. But here's your look at your approach.
All right, here's a look at the green on 6, 30-yard front to back. You can see a high point there on the back right side of that green. It wants to go down left, but everything else is going to bring your ball right back down toward the fairway. Greens are rolling pretty true and fast today, so it's coming quick. Right back down the fairway. Here's that little ravine I told you about coming out just on the left side, running up that way. And then your green side bunker here on the right. Pretty straightforward, not too much undulation at all. Pretty smooth, just coming back down from the top, back down to the front.
All right, here we are, hole 7, par 5. All right, blue tee box, hole 7, par 5. Plays about 521 from this tee box. You got a bunker about 200 yards out, 225 on the left. That's the only one in play from the tee box. You got bunkers farther up, closer to about 300, which you can get into on the right side if you're a stick. Here's your view, straight flag right down the middle. This par 5 is dead straight. You got tree trouble far front left. You got residential OB right. And so this is the line you want to stay. Here we are 200 yards out on this par 5. You've got a little ravine of water that runs along the little bit of the left side, around and all up the right side of this green. Big trees protecting that green on the right side, on the front side. About 200 out. Lots of green to work with, but it does slope down once you go off of that green. It's trouble.
All right, here we are at the green on this par 5. 27-yard front to back. Pretty much the movement on this one goes back left corner to front right down toward the ravine in the water. So your movement, there's a little bit of wave in the middle. You'll see that when you play it. It gets a little wavy right in the center, just a little hump. But overall, the movement is back left corner to front right corner, bringing it down this way. All right, hole 8, par 4, 423 from the blues.
All right, here's a look at our tee box here on the blue tees. Pretty tight window. Trees on the left aren't really in play. Trees on the right are in play. You got a lot of fairway to work with on the left side. If you miss left, you're good. You got a bunker that's about 150 yards out on the left. So if you're gonna miss this hole, miss left. All right, here we are at the approach on 8, middle of the fairway. About 120 yards out from here. Good look at the green. Lots of places to miss short, miss left, miss long. You've got a giant bunker complex there on the right, which I'll show you once we get up there. Other than that, it's a pretty clean look. All right, here we are at the green on 8. Let's start with this massive bunker here on this right side. Almost the entire length of this 30-yard green. It's actually a little longer than the green. Giant right side, that's trouble on the right side. Everything else is smooth. Lots of movement here. You can see the spine in the middle funneling it left, and the back right corner of this green comes down left to a flat spot there in the middle. You can see the grain color change, and then from beyond the flagstick today, it comes back down to the right, to the front, toward the fairway. Again, 30-yard green here on 8. Lots of movement. All right, here we are at 9, short par 4. All right, here's the blue tee box on 9, short par 4, about a 337-yarder, like I said. We've got lots of trouble everywhere, lots of hills. You got a ravine right in front of this tee box. You've got a ravine running through the fairway and the other side of the fairway about 180 yards up. Trees on the right side, trees on the left. You can see your green flag right here in this view. Even if you get it to the middle of the fairway out front, you drop into a bowl. Very challenging short par 4. All right, here's a look in at the approach. Not much of a fairway here, but from 50 yards out, big bunker here on the left side. Big bowl here in the middle, which this bowl leads up to the fairway. Kind of everything funnels back into this side, right in the front, right green side. Not a smooth fairway at all as far as undulations go. There's that big ravine I was talking about between us and that tee box. Lots of green here to work with if you play up, lay up, play it short.
All right, here we are on this challenging green on. Look at this dip in the middle. It's only about a 12-yarder
Back, but it goes all the way across right, all the way across left. This green has lots of movement, steady slope back to front. This left side wants to go back down to the left
a little bit.
Middle funnels right down to this middle area, and it also can kick it back down, right back down into that hole. Very challenging green. This hole is lots of fun.
All right, here we are, hole 10, par 5. Long par 5.
All right, here we are, blue tee box, hole 10, 557-yarder. You can see this line here straight through. You can see the green complex just through these trees around those bunkers. Long par 5 here. Tree trouble on the right. Got lots of room to work with there on the left. You can see the hill. Drive the left side, it should funnel it back down the middle of the fairway. Not much room to miss on the right side. Everything funnels back down. It's trouble on that side. But here's your look at 10 tee box.
All right, here we are at the approach on 10. We're about 250 out still from the green. You can see lots of room to work with there on the right side going in. Still lots of bunkers out in front of you, close to 180, 200 yards out on those bunkers. You don't want to miss in here left. Lots of trash, lots of weeds, tall grass, rough water in that area right there. It's not a place you want to miss. Little creek running through here. But there's your line, and your green is going to be just left of those bunkers on that side. Still a little work to get in. Again, 250 out from this point. All right, here we are at the final approach on 10. About 100 yards out, you can see how that flag has been tucked around those trees. This hole is pretty challenging in that zigzag in. So you can see you've got bunkers protecting the front side of the left side and the right side of this green. You go too long and you're in the trees. You go long left or even just left, it'll funnel back down into the brush, into the trees that way. You can miss a little bit right, but if, again, too long is in the trees, so your only miss here is just going to be short or right on the green.
All right, here we are on the green on 10, about a 30-yarder front to back. Lots of movement from the back side to the front side, and even angling down a little bit on the back left side. You can see at the top where the flag is today. That green slopes down toward the brush, and from that flag slopes back down this direction toward the fairway. Big bunker on the right side, and also big bunker protecting it on this front left side coming in. And here's a good look at your 10 green. Hole 11, par 3. Long par 3. All right, here we are, hole 11, par 3. Downhill. Plays around 160 with slope. 180 from the measurement. You got green side bunker, front side times 3. 2 long bunkers on the back side, and then 1 bunker on the left. Other than that, wide open shot. Drop it in. All right, here we are at this par 3 green. Right where the flag is here in the middle, there's a spine that runs just to the right of it. It runs back down to the right side on this, and then after that, this left side kicks back all the way back down towards that small area of the fairway, I guess you could call it. Front side bunkers, left side bunker, back side bunkers. Not too much movement overall, no undulation to worry about too much. Just a fall off on the right side and a big fall off here on the left side. All right, hole 12, par 4, long par 4. All right, here we are at the blue tee box on 12. Long par 4, a 450-yarder. Straight through the middle of these trees. Pretty tight fairway. Lots of trouble right and left with trees. About 360 yards up, you've got water and a bunker way up there. That's over there next to the left of the green. Pretty straightforward. You just got a really tight window to work with here. All the way back here is your tee box. All right, here we're looking at the approach about 150 yards out. Again, you've got water right up front, about 65 yards, 60 yards up in front, separating this fairway and the front of that green area. Big bunker on the left side, a couple small bunkers there on the right. Uphill approach coming in. Lots of room to miss, long left and long, short, a little bit short right, you're good. Other than that, go right at it. All right, here we go. Green on 12, 33 yard, back to front. This thing moves from the backside to the front side in this direction. It comes down and circles this way, right towards where we're standing. Right here off this right side front of the green. Everything just kind of slopes down that direction, right down this way. You see the big bunkers here on the right side. Pretty far off the green, not too close, but it's still, they are still in play. But here's a good look at your number 12 green.
On hole 13, par 4.
All right, here we are on 13. Short par
4, about 368 to the green. You can see the green straight out right there, right in front of the bunkers. Lots of bunkers surrounding this hole. You have water running through the fairways, the front and back side of the fairway, about 215 yards up. You can either clear it or lay up short. Other than that, wide open look. Trees on the left if you hook it. Pretty wide open right side. There's your line.
All right, here we are at the approach looking in. If you laid up behind these stakes, you're about 150 yards out. Bunker on the right side, bunker in front of the green, bunker on the right side of the green, bunker behind the green, and bunker on the left. Tight window, squeeze it in.
All right, here we are on this 20-yard green, this par 4 that we just played. This green slants back left to bottom front right down into this fairway area. No undulations, no wavy movements. Kind of flattens off a little bit here on this left side, comes down a little bit on the left. There's just a little spine running through here, but overall, anything right of this spine will push back down this direction. Again, you're surrounded by bunkers all through here. Giant front side, giant left side, all around. Here we are, hole 14, par 4. All right, here we go, blue tee box, 346 yards out. Wide open look pretty much to this fairway. You got out of bounds left side with the residential fence line. Lots of room to miss on the right. There's another fairway running parallel, so just full send on this one if you want to aim a little bit right. You do have bunkers that are a couple hundred yards out on the left. You can see those aren't hidden. Straight line out to the green. You got a good look at this fairway. Pretty short, par 4. Have at it.
All right, here we are looking in about 85 yards out. Got a big bunker on the left side of this green, back left corner. You got a big grass bunker here on the front right side that goes around, protecting that green. Otherwise, you got a wide open look. Miss short left, miss long right. It goes downhill a little bit, but you're out of trouble on this right side.
All right, here we got the green, 24-yard front to back. This green moves from the back side to the front right side.
Left side,
pretty flat, but then it comes down off this left side, so it kind of has its own direction here. Spine right here up front. Not necessarily a spine, but maybe just a hump that kind of separates this left side and this right side. But it wants to run down this right side here where the flag is today.
Ugly bunker on the back left corner. Okay, we're here at hole 15, par 4.
All right, here we are at the blue tee box. And this par 4. Here's your line straight out. You get a bunker there on the fairway, about 230 yards there on your left. Other than that, you have a lot of wide open real estate to work with. Miss right if you're going to miss along these trees. You run parallel with the other fairway we just played. Left side, residential backyard fences. You don't want to go OB there. So your line straight ahead to the flag, right in that area right there, right? You can see the bunker, and your green is just over that hill. Again, miss right if you're going to miss.
All
All right, here's looking at our approach on 15.
About 125 yards out from this point. Get a good look at your area. You can miss pretty much everywhere, except there's a big bunker there. Obviously, you can see on the front left side. That bunker's probably 115 out. You're about 125 from the middle of the green from this point. Wide open look, go right at it. All right, here's a look at the green on 15. 30-yard front to back. It angles the back right corner and then just sweeps around this bowl down here to this front right side. So you can see the angles, it's coming down. It pushes the arrows this way and it comes down. It wants to kick off this right here at this corner and then come down this way. Lots of movement, not too many undulations, just a lot of slant and slope pushing this thing down. And you have your big bunker here on the left side. We saw that coming in. Okay, here we are in 16, blue tee box. It's a 570-yard par 5 way out here. Your line is straight ahead. You can see the flag just way through all those trees. You've got water ahead. You can see the stakes. That plays about 250 yards from this blue tee box. Trees on the right side, not too thick. Water also on the right side. You've got big bunker on the left side, plays about 150, 160. Residential OB on the left with fence line. Where that cart is pretty much your target. All right, here's our first layup. If you decided to lay up when you were on the tee box, here you are at about 316 yards out. You can see the flag straight ahead, right through this fairway. Again, here are the stakes. You decided to lay up like I did. Wide open look at all this fairway. You got ravine on the left side coming in. You've got bunkers that play about 260 out right here on the left side and the right side, a little bit longer out. And there's your look. All right, here we are, final approach, 120 yards out. You have a big ravine that separates you from the green right down into this ditch here with water. You got a green side bunker on the front side. You can miss short left right there by the cart path. You got room to miss. You got room on the right side, a little room long, but it does slope back over the hill. So there's your line coming in.
All right, here we are on the green on this par 5. We've got a far right backside, right side slopes down the front left side. You have a hump right here on this front side that slopes down real hard and fast this direction. Kind of flattens out up here on this back right side, but then overall the arrows come from back there where the flag is back down towards the front of this fairway area. And again, you've got your big bunker here on the right side, steep, way down in there. Try to avoid that. All right, here we are on 17, par 3. All right, here we are, blue tee box on this par 3, about 145 yards out from
this point. You had a big letter E bunker there on the front left side. Lots of room to work with, lots of room to miss. You got trees here on the left. And that's about it. That's your only danger besides that giant bunker. All right, here we are at the green. 30-yarder back to front. This green angles that top right side. It wants to go across left where the flag is today. So it runs left, and then if you get on this right side, it runs back down towards the fairway. So it's got two different directions. You can see the spine up by the flag right in front. Right here, you can see the color change in the grain. And then you have this left letter E bunker on this front left side. Here's a good look at the green. Not too much undulation everywhere, just those two movements. Starting at the back right corner, goes left on the top side and then back down toward the front here at the front side. All right, hole 18, par 4. Okay, here we are at the approach on 18, about 130 yards out. You can see that big bunker there on your left side, really intimidating. You don't want to get in that one. The lip doesn't look too high, but it's still in a bunker. You got room up front. You got room to miss right. Missing left runs down a hill into some tall grass. Missing long, you're going to go into some tall grass and trees. There's a big hump on that backside, kind of a backstop to bring it back. But here's your look. All right, here we are on the green on 18, about a 30-yard back to front. This green wants to move from the backside toward the middle and then back down here toward this front right corner. It does have a flat spot on this left side, and that moves in all kinds of directions. It's got a peak up here on this left side of this green, and it does slope down to the middle and comes again forward again. So there's a little crest right here in the center. You can kind of see that change, and it all comes back down this way, back down to the front side. Big left side bunker. This is your 18 green.